And what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, Juice, aka Noir Brother, aka Rising Pharaoh. And welcome to another episode of Talk of That Talk, where we have comfortable and uncomfortable conversations.
All right, what's good, world? I go by the name of King Exodus, aka X. As always, man, we appreciate everybody for spending your time with us, for checking us out, supporting the movement. We back on YouTube now. You feel me? We're doing big things popping. So tonight's episode, we're gonna talk about challenges at your peak. All right. So throughout life, I noticed it goes back to the whole like Will Smith, Chris Rock thing, where he slapped dude on stage and
Hmm?
Denzel was like, at your highest level, what I'm saying? Sometimes that's when the devil comes. So, what I'm saying? That's very thought provoking. So moving
Mm.
forward, before we had one podcast recently, people that know me personally know that, I have my personal, issues with certain people. One in particular, a family member, very close, contacted me right before a podcast. I mean, negative energy, chaotic. It was bad. But I didn't respond in a chaotic fashion. But I responded nonetheless. And literally, by the time I hung up the phone, it was like 3 minutes till showtime. So I thought, I'm just like, fuck. Sometimes, right when you're getting ready to perform, right when it's championship game time, it's time to clock in, it's time to do whatever it is that you do, right? Whatever pinnacle you are within your level of success, sometimes things happen right before that moment. And it's easy for you to just say, well, I'll pass up on the moment. Or do you still live in the moment and perform to your optimal level? So you have challenges that come at times that you can't really calculate. I'll take it further in my intro. When I graduated high school, I was in a real chaotic standpoint in life, beefing with my mom, a lot of things was going on. And while everybody else was practicing to get ready to graduate, I was in and out the house. I come home for a couple of days, leave, stay gone for a couple of days, come back. And within that process, graduation moment, I didn't walk the stage because that day, that moment was so chaotic for me. I backed out. I had so much things going on personally at home that I passed up on the opportunity. I passed up on the moment. The older I get, I look back and I just think like, damn, sometimes this is just how life works. And you have to suck up the anxiety, suck up the negativity, still perform, still go out there and live within your moments because some moments you'll never get back. So this is what introduces this topic. This is what brings this conversation to the table. Is that sometimes when you're at your highest levels, things just tend to happen. So you got it, man.
Oh, man. There'll definitely be challenges. They say for every advancement in your life, there's going to be a challenge for it, right? Want to put on more weight, there's going to be a challenge. You might be losing weight. You might be going through different stages where, like I said, challenges will hit you in different scenarios, right? Some challenges is not necessarily physical. Some of them are more mental, right? Some people hit plateaus in businesses and be like, yo, well, we're killing the competition, but why are we not selling as much as we can sell, right? These are different things that go throughout your life as you keep expanding upwards towards anything, right? I noticed that every challenge I ever had when it came to hitting another tax bracket, right? It came from me. Making more money. Fucking tax bracket. Making more money. I had to sharpen my skills in communication. I had to learn to maybe move around to another job. That's another thing people get stuck at. Some people just be content where they're at. Challenges will come at you in many different forms, many different angles. Sometimes uh, you got to be more so creative to understand things that are coming at you. Um, like I was saying, at your peak, you'll definitely have some things. Now, the Will Smith comment that Denzel Washington, that was interesting to me, but uh, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like when people try to throw like religious things into situations when that's complete self control. You know what I'm saying? We'll never talk about exercising self control versus a religious behavior. No, when Denzel gave that speech, it was a powerful thing, but I still want to throw it out there that self-control is everything as you move up and move forward, right? Some people will disrespect you in front of your face, and how you handle that situation, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, the devil got me. I have to fuck him up." They're gonna be like, "No, that's you. That's exercising self-control." So it's always a somewhat of a limited belief when it comes to certain activities that you do, that you can't blame something else for it at the end of the day, right? That's just like how they everybody wants to say, well, Jada gave him that cue to go up there and do it. Then everybody's like, then some people are like, well, you should ignore that. It's interesting. I just want to say
Okay.
that.
Let's do it like this. Let's just say you're an athlete, you're a hard worker, a physical worker, you you're a bodybuilder, whatever. A lot of times people go through setbacks, which come in the form of injuries. Um, Sometimes people get put on the sideline from performing or doing their craft, and it's out of their control. Injury happened, body broke down, people get sick, things take place. So one thing that's very interesting to me is I was listening to Phil Heath one day, Mr. Olympia, a lot of times, um, and he said something deep. Yeah, he suffered an injury when he was at the height of his bodybuilding career, and he said that when he injured his shoulder, he continued to train his shoulder despite um, his the advice that he got from his doctor. So through that process, he configured that sometimes training a injured part of your body during the process of rehabilitation can make that body part 10 times stronger. So later on in his career, his shoulders became his strongest body part after, despite the injury. So the injury happened, and he had the mental fortitude to continue training despite the information that he received. Let's take a little bit further. We look at the homie CT Fletcher. CT Fletcher was at the pinnacle of his career, suffered a massive heart attack,
Mm.
power builder, woke up 160 pounds. Doctor told him, if you ever lift weights again or compete, you'll die. But he said, hey, fuck you. I'm going to still train, and if I die, I'm going to die doing what I love doing. CT's still alive. You know what I mean? Still training. So sometimes injuries happen, things happen that's beyond our control that could put us on the sideline. But when you're on that sideline, do you throw in the towel? Do you give up? Do you listen to the naysayers? You know what I'm saying? I can bring up another example. The Rock was saying he got injured during the match with John Cena. Fucked up his hip bone. But he could have easily tapped out the match, left the ring. He wrestled a 45-minute match with a broken hip. Still put on the show. So sometimes when you're performing, you're doing your thing, things are going to happen, things are going to set you back, whether it's physical injuries or whatever the case. If you still want to proceed and gain that mental fortitude and become even stronger and still continue on with the show, by all means do so. But I've seen situations where, a dude, one of my homies had a kid, his son hurt his leg, and his son was complaining, oh, my leg hurt, my leg hurt, my leg hurt. He like, whatever, shake it off, be a man, grow up. And come to find out, shit was really fucked up. He felt bad about it after the case. You know what I'm saying? So these kind of situations can go either way. We look at Kobe Bryant. He break his right hand. Okay, cool. Right finger. He learned to shoot with his left hand. You've seen plenty of stories where a person can be on a basketball court. You know what I'm saying? They finger get displaced. Somebody go pop that bitch back in place. Boom. They get back on the field, get back on the court. So it had me thinking sometimes a philosophy that I created was sometimes you have to match pain with pain in order to proceed through those painful moments. And a lot of people don't get that. And some people just want to tap out because pain is present, but sometimes you want to match pain with pain in order to proceed. So that's what I got on
Mm. Match pain with pain. That's interesting. I mean, I do believe that can work. Um, but I wrote down on my piece of paper right here, like peaking and before peaking. I don't know if people pay attention to like the process it is before you peak, like the struggles, the fortitude, the pain, like you said. Those are things like you can't really like move around or get around when it comes to hitting your peak, right? I remember days. I guess one of my biggest peak positions. on a physical level came from me eating like crazy. I mean, like three times a day, like heavy meal in the morning, light meal in the evening, and kind of heavy during the night. But I remember moments like, yo, my body's eating this up so fast that my metabolism is just like crazy. And
Mm.
there's times you might want to quit or slow down, but then again, you finally start getting the recognition that you see, right? People start complimenting you like, hey, what's your workout routine? Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, to you, you don't know if you really becoming something. You just doing the daily habits. So that's another thing. Before you can even hit your peak, it's daily habits that contribute to who you become in the future, right? You're not going to tell me the guy that works 10 hours a week versus the guy who works 50 hours versus the guy who works 100 hours a week. They all the same. You're not going to convince me they're all the same when it comes to anything in this world. Disciplines will decide how good you become in this world, right? Your peak level could be very amateur to a person who's performing at the highest level, right? So you want to keep in mind the abilities and what it's going to take as you keep advancing in this world. That's something I definitely want to throw out there on the table. I was studying different businesses a little while ago, and there was peak challenges where I mean, they're about to hit their peak. They're getting hit with lawsuits. They got people in the company taking some of their best people. They're leaving. Like it's a lot of things like that where you have it should fold, right? And then you have other
Mhm.
individuals that'll take that opportunity. Like, all right, man, we got to go harder. Let's rebrand. Let's try to take other people from other companies. Let's see what we have to do to get to the next level. Majority of the time, people fold, but you got to keep that in mind as you move forward. Are you going to fold? Or are you going to unfold to the pressure that comes upon you?
Mm. Okay, okay, I like that. Pressure bust pipes so you can produce diamonds, right?
Right.
So let's go back 2019, 2020, 2013.
Uh-huh.
Uh, very pivotal years of my life, very stressful. Um, 2019, 2020, overwhelmed with grief. A lot of things happened, life changed. Um, takes me back to that Kendrick Lamar album when he did the song. You know what I'm saying? He said he grieved different. Song really struck a nerve for me. The whole album, really. But sometimes pressure is only to make you better, even if you don't realize it. Napoleon Hill had a great comment where he said, "Nothing makes a man great but resistance. Resistance makes a man great." So a lot of times your philosophy with problems and quote unquote resistance will determine how you look at losses. Some people look at losses as lessons, learning opportunities. If you never have any setbacks, you never have nothing to grow from and learn from. You know what
Not
I
at
mean?
all.
So these opportunities, I mean, I even heard somebody go so deep where they was teaching their homeschooling a kid, and they was like, "We don't have word problems." You know what I mean? We don't use the word problems in his house. You know what I'm saying? He's like, "We got word word opportunities and shit like that." But your words are a GPS to your reality. So if you feel like you have problems or losses, it could change your narrative. It could change your perspective on how you look at things. Like I said, you have some people that are so great, they look at a problem, and a problem they can't solve is disrespectful to their IQ. It's disrespectful to their grit and their hustle and their personality because they feel like they can overcome anything. The bigger the challenge, the bigger the reward. That's how you look at it. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just have to conceptualize how you look at your life, how you look at learning curves and experiences. This shit is only here to make you better. But it's not an automatic switch. You're not going to automatically just get better. You have to conceptualize it yourself. You have to study yourself, constantly look in the mirror. So losses and problems that can't be solved would be a disrespect to many people's IQ and everything like that.
Mm.
You always have to find a way to win, find a way to grow. That's how I look at it. So whatever you got on that.
Oh man, I like what you said. You always got to find a way to grow. That's one of the main things you got to be able to contribute to. Like, um, I always look at people who be like, "Well, I'm good where I'm at." Until a child's coming, they don't know how to get past it. Then I laugh. You know what I'm saying? As crazy as that sounds, like that's how I really look at everything, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's people that feel like, hey, I got everything I want, so there's no need to go out there no more. But see, what they don't tell you is that you don't have to keep growing in areas you don't want to grow. It's how do you compensate
Mhm.
for situations that come about and how you handle it, right? There have been times where people be like, I had people be like, yo, had I not learned that, I could have got fucked on the back end of this deal, right? Then you have people who get so hungry for a deal or a quote unquote a nice contract or a financial opportunity, right? They didn't understand what was going on, right? So they just basically paid them up front, whatever it is, and didn't know they can make money on the back end or in the long run. And that comes with how you grow as an individual, right? There's music artists right now that tell you, hey, look, I'm studying people from the past that were great and people that are now great, right? A lot of people when it comes to the artist industry told you like, yeah, I got fucked on this deal. I wasn't paying attention. You know, some of this thing wasn't recoupable. Some things was recoupable. They didn't understand
Mhm.
what was going. They just understood those numbers that was right there. Hey, yeah, get this out of my way, man. Give me the money. And then understand what happens within the future. So what I'm saying is don't get too content in situations where you don't know how to maneuver when they come about. You got to keep being a executor. You always got to be a problem solver. You always got to keep uh, wanting to know how to handle situations. That's one of the biggest things, right? If you don't have the experience for yourself, how are you going to teach like your future kids or your kids on how to handle situations, right? It pretty much never been a problem so far that when it comes to like the man that I am, that a person gives me a situation, I can't tell them a story about how I got through it or what I did that fucked up. You want to have your life full of stories so people can understand, right? Let them pick and choose what it is, right? One of the best financial things I always talk about, you got Dave Ramsey, you got Grant Cardone. One says, hey, live a debt-free life, and one says, hey, learn how to use debt to live a better life. You got it. Their stories they got the stories of why which one will work better for you. You just got to figure out what it is that's gonna work for you.
Okay, okay, okay. I can go back to the world of sports, man, to dissect this a little better.
Okay.
Let's look at Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors. Just want the he just won his fourth ring. You feel me? We look at Golden State, a team that was at the pinnacle of their careers. They got hit with injuries, contract situations, chaos. Team didn't make it to the finals for 2 years, playoffs for 2 years. Had the worst record in the NBA. Come back, still facing injuries, right? Boston had a better lineup, better bench, everything. When they won that last one, they was like, yo, this one felt different. It was the most challenging. Despite injuries, despite losing our grit, you know what I'm saying? Getting knocked out of that position, coming back fighting for this shit. They said this one was different, right? So when the roster was loaded and they won, it's like, okay, cool, we winning. We them boys, we them niggas, right? But they said this one was different because it was the most challenging. And to see Steph Curry win that shit, crown court and everything, it had me thinking. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're not performing how you used to, despite injuries, losses, things come about, challenges, can you get back to that position and excel even higher than what you was prior? We look at Tupac's story. Dude, pinnacle of his career, get shot, go to jail, boom, come back, death row. Muhammad Ali, dude get silenced, strip his belt, lose his prime, come back later. Feel me? Like, these things happen to these people along their route to being great. They could have easily folded and be like, hey, okay, that's it. I'm good. I'm done. Shit hard. It's too rough. But they answered the challenge. You know what I mean? So you just got to keep that shit in mind. And if they can do it, you know what I'm saying? You can do it. Whether it's something you want to accomplish in your personal life, whether you got a business you want to start, you want to get a promotion at your job, you want to become a better person, a better father, a better mother, a better parent, better whatever. You have the opportunity to always excel.
Right.
Challenges shouldn't stop you. So just looking at that, and then we look at people like LeBron. LeBron been winning since day one, but people still hate him. We'll never give him his credit. We put him, you know what I'm saying, in the position that he deserves. And sometimes hatred and envy can come when you're at your highest levels because people don't want to see you perform the way you're performing. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody want to see you win. That's cool. That's great. Not everybody that you start your journey with is going to be there when you finishing or you getting to higher levels. You just have to have that tunnel vision, keep moving, stay focused. Life changes, things changes. Now I said, uh, love changes, and sometimes best friends become strangers. You know what I mean? Like you have
Mm,
to keep these things in mind. Positions change, everything changes. Have your tunnel vision, keep going.
mm.
That's what I got on it.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. One of the stories that came to my mind as you were speaking was Cinderella Man. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all know who the boxer by Cinderella. I can't think of his name, but he got the name Cinderella Man, right? This was a man who was crushing, crushing the boxing game, right? But what
Mhm.
ended up happening was a recession. Recession took place, right? He barely could afford to keep a roof over the head, lights on, and things of that nature, right? He went down to the country club. The same people he was making money for, money with, he had to go ask them for money to keep the lights on in an apartment, where he was living, right? At first, he wasn't getting the answers he was getting because he's the boxer. Yeah, you're supposed to, have your money and go out there and know how to manage it, right? Cool. He ends up getting the money, right? He gets a call later on. The call later on was like, hey, got a match coming up for you, man. Are you hungry? Are you ready for it? And he was like, yeah. So before the match had happened, he was getting himself strapped up, and his trainer heard his stomach growling. He was like, yo, was that you? He's like, yeah. He's like, you didn't eat anything? He's like, nah, man, I haven't eaten in 2 days. He's been worried about feeding his family more. So what he did was go over there, make him some scraps, and the man was so hungry that, what I'm saying, he put his face in the bowl before the fight. Eat. You know what I'm saying? Gets in the long story short, gets in the match, wins the fight. They're like, man, bro, you was fighting like you never fought before. He's like, yo, what's the purpose? He's like, well, milk. He's like, milk? Well, yeah, I gotta put milk in the house. So a lot of y'all forget y'all purposes when y'all go through these peak situations and be getting y'all ass whooped instead of remember what it is that kept you hungry. So when Cinderella was going through that, I was like, yo, that's some powerful shit. Right? He was able to fight his way back up to the ranks, get himself out there, and also win the title later on within his career. But remember, he went through a recession period where he was barely eating, he was barely able to sustain, but he had a purpose in his mind to make sure he could bring milk home to his family. So that's something you want to keep in mind is your why. Like fighting was fighting to him at one point until that recession hit. Then he found a purpose. Like sometimes we go through life just living until we find a purpose. But it's best that you find a purpose early on and not in a devastating manner. But hey, it still can make you move effectively regardless of the situation.
Okay, okay. You brought up a big word, recession.
Oof, we
A
in one
recession
now.
is coming. We in one now. You feel me?
One now.
Uh, with inflation being the highest it's been, uh, this recession might top 2008. Um, looking at the stock market, we're looking at the real estate market. Shit's crashing. Agriculture crashing. Everything is crashing. But recessions happen every 4 to 5 years. Markets reset themselves. Economies reset themselves.
Mm.
So the recessions are inevitable a lot of times. If we look at cycles, a lot of shit happens in cycles. You just have to learn the cycles and learn how to win. You can't change the cycles. You can't change the pendulum swing. You just have to know how to gain momentum while the pendulum is swinging. If we look at, what I'm saying, the scales of my eye, we're very similar. You feel me? Like some things are inevitable, especially within economies. You just have to find out how do you always win? How do you execute? When the COVID thing hit and shit was going down, there was a lot of millionaires and billionaires that came up during that time period. It's a lot of companies that got paid. You know what I mean? Like sometimes things happen. But like I said, you just have to study cycles. I'm a person, I'm in the retrogrades, I'm in all these kind of things, planetary alignments, uh, study the moons, all this shit. I find out what's going on around me, how does it affect me, How does it affect my zodiac? Um, what is the universe saying is going to happen during this time period? What cycle are we in? Cool. Now that I have the knowledge and the information, it's time to execute. It's time to get on a higher position on that pendulum swing. You know what I mean? So you always want to have uh, a will to continue fighting, a will to continue growing, regardless of the cycles that's taking place. Some people can know we're in a recession and they can just give up. They don't want to invest. They don't want to learn. They don't want to grow. They'll just wait it out. Those people never really grow economically. The people that study cycles and know how to come up from cycles, resets, and within economies, those are the people that come out millionaire, billionaire. They never stop fighting. They know that, hey, look, if gas prices is high, somebody making money off investing into oil and gas. So do you want to just pay the high gas prices, or do you want to find out how to invest at the same time and capitalize? That's just what you got to do. So that's all I got, man.
The word I wrote down was response. Your response is everything, right? They say when a recession happens, some people are saving, some people are surviving, some people are going shopping. And that's the craziest thing about the recessions. You learn about those three S's. Some people are surviving, some people are saving, some people are shopping. All right? People are like, yo, how you shop during a recession? They've been planning and been waiting on the opportunity, right? So as soon as like they know these houses going for sale, these businesses going down, it's like taking a basket and going grocery shopping. You just throwing stuff in there. You buy things about 50% cheaper, 75%
Right.
cheaper. They selling out, right? When people are selling out, that's the time you buy out. You got to be ready for the next recession when it comes up. That's why I said you might not have to grow as an individual all the time, but your response to every situation says a lot about you, right? When the pandemic happened, I was still working every day. Every day. Yeah, some of y'all was like, nah, I ain't going out. I think I was outside every day. I was outside every day during the pandemic. Recession, I'm outside every day still. Ain't nothing gonna change about me. I still gotta go out there and make some things happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one who's gonna complain and bitch. Like, nah, none of that. There's too many opportunities that people are also doing. I was talking about it earlier last week. There's so many opportunities in the blue collar world that most people are not going to do them just because they're blue collar. They're offering you free scholarships, free tuition, free chances to go into internships outside of these companies, depending on the school you go to. But like I said, how you respond to everything is who you are as a person, right? I'll put it like this, man. I always been a person. I responded to every situation I was in by, okay, what do I do to make myself get to the next step, right? And my goal was make $1 million. And my thought process was, yo, I'm gonna make $1 million rapping. I'm gonna make $1 million playing sports. I'm gonna make $1 million doing this shit. And none of that happens. I gotta find an alternative route to make sure I get to $1 million. Majority of y'all don't do it. Y'all just be like, all right, fuck, that was my ticket, so I don't know how I'm gonna get there, so I'm gonna live normal. Like, no. I will never live normal a day in my life. I don't see the point in it, right? I got little homies that be like, yo, how do you do this? I'm like, bro, I don't live above my means. I'm waiting for the opportunities to seize. I keep studying. I keep opening my lingo. I keep going to places that I'm not familiar with that makes me uncomfortable until I become comfortable there, right? That's why I always say, look, go to your favorite restaurant to a point where they can identify you. When they can identify you, they know your order. They know who you are. They know what you like. Y'all don't put yourself out there enough for people to identify you like that. I mean, shoot, like I said, this is all about who you are as an individual. Like, what are you trying to do, right? We see the old man that comes in. They're like, oh, he wants the old special. Make sure you put 2 Splendors in his coffee. Stir up light cream. He wants to sit over there by the window next to the sun. They know everything about that old man, right? They know nothing about you. So you're going to have to make yourself present amongst other people until they get to know you. At least the smallest things matter, like your name. So how you respond to everything says who you are.
Facts, 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 facts. You know what I mean? Like your response when you get that fight or flight mentality, that's really who you are. A lot of people talk, maybe like shoulda, woulda, coulda. Man, if that was me, and they get into that position, but your response is really that's who you are. That's your nature coming out. A lot of people be like, man, I did some shit. I don't even know what I did. I blacked out. That I don't know. That was your response. That's really who you was on the inside. You know what I'm saying? You have the representative of you and then you have the real you. You feel me? Like sometimes these two connect, sometimes they don't, but the real person is always gonna show as your response level. So taking this conversation somewhere else, um, a lot of people have a destination in life, right? They have somewhere they're trying to go. But when challenges come, they don't know how to adapt. They don't know how to change. They don't know how to continuously pursue that destination appropriately. A lot of people feel like, look, if this is my GPS route, this is the way. I'm going to go this one way. You know, a lot of times if you go put in an address in your GPS, it'll give you like 3 different routes, 4 different routes. You know what I'm saying? Some people pick, you know what I'm saying? Some people pick one route and they only take that one route. Some people take all three and see which one's better. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going
Despite,
by time. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm going by time.
yeah, but some
Let me
people
tell you
still
what's
test it.
fastest.
Some people
You're
are tested.
fastest. That's what I'm
Some
going
people
by.
are tested. You know what I'm saying? GPSs be lying sometimes. I don't know, but some people just want what they want, how they want it, and that's how they look at their destinations in life. And that's not how life works. Life is going to constantly challenge you. It's going to constantly make you grow and adapt. Those are the people that make it and conquer and succeed. People that can adapt. If you're really stuck in your ways, you're not going nowhere. It's not going to happen. You have to grow. You have to let go. You have to shed that weight. You know what I mean? Like these are the processes of getting somewhere. When we say life is a marathon, feel me? Like that's key. You have to continue growing, continue changing. Do whatever you need to do to get to where the fuck you're trying to go. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they don't get into business, they don't get into their personal ambitions because they so fucking self-centered and locked in on how they want to do it. You know, some people want shit so perfect. They want the perfect moment, perfect opportunity, the perfect timing. Fuck all that. If the stars not aligning for you, hey, sometimes you gotta challenge the stars. Sometimes, you know what I
Challenge
mean.
that motherfucker. That's right. I'm about to say, nigga, I will
Sometimes you
move
gotta,
planets
yeah.
to make sure I get where I
Sometimes
want.
you gotta look at the sky and be like, all right, bet. Watch this. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta do it. Some people are so loyal to belief systems, religions, and all these other kind of things. They want affirmations and shit. That's cool. That's cute. But at the end of the day, if you know you're the only person that's gonna have your vision in your mind, nobody else gonna have it for you. Nobody else. It's gonna be a lot of people that don't believe in you. It's gonna be a lot of naysayers. I don't think nobody thought when Michael Jordan first came into the league, they was like, dude, short, nigga's not no center, he's not 7 feet tall. I don't think he's gonna do much with that squad. Kobe came to the league, he was so young, nigga got
Yeah,
traded.
high school. Yeah,
Nigga started off on the bench. You know, it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be like, I don't see it. But you gotta see it.
right.
You the only person that's gonna see you in your highest position. When I watch Queen of the South, you know what I'm saying? You look at the main character. She's where she at now, but she has interactions with herself in an all-white suit, looking like a boss. And she talks to herself like third person type shit
Yeah,
outside of herself. And
yeah. I do that
it,
shit
it,
too.
it come to her and it'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, look, you need to get out of this. You need to go left, make a right here, do this, do that.
Huh?
She had to envision herself in a higher position in order to get to that level. Even if it's yourself outside of yourself. And that's that. I don't go too far in that, but you have to see yourself at your highest level. And even if nobody else sees it, that's fine. That's cool. We look at movies like King Richard, great movie.
Great movie.
Nobody ever seen them girls doing what they did except they father.
Hmm?
Nobody else. And he went through everything. He almost got killed. He almost
Whew.
got his kid taken. But
He
he
kept
kept his
pushing.
vision in mind. What that Meek Mill song say? He had Thomas on there. He's like, you have to see the dream. You have to believe the dream. You have to see it when no one else sees it. You gotta believe in the dream. And then the song started. One of my favorite songs, man. You
Shit.
got it,
Told you, man, like I be playing 50 Cent position of power like every day. I always just be smiling at myself. I be laughing in my head, just waiting on an opportunity. See,
man.
this is something I'm going to do later this week or something. Is why do
Mm-hmm.
you need guarantees? I just need the opportunity. I prepare
Mm.
myself different from most
Mm.
individuals when it comes to this world. I just need the fucking opportunity. I don't need the guarantee. If the
Mm.
opportunity says, was I prepared or was I not prepared? You
Mm.
motherfuckers ain't going out there and not prepared for shit, bro. That's what we said. You gotta
You
be
want it
ready
easy.
for when it happens, man. You
Yeah,
gotta be
you
ready
want
for
it
when it
easy.
comes, right? So yeah, so be ready for the episode. Why do you need guarantees? You only need
Mm.
opportunities, right? So let me go ahead and
Ooh.
get back on task. Uh, what X was talking about, you got to be able to move. Like I said, what are you gonna move? The stars yourself, cars yourself. You got to be able to put that in mind, right? I'm so obsessed with building myself. I have to call. I got it. Like I said, I like to place myself in different environments in front of different people and accept that direct criticism. You got to be able to accept direct criticism as you move forward in this world. Most of y'all be like, "Hey, look, your form's kind of off. You want to do this, man? This motherfucker trying to tell me how to do shit." I'm like, "Yo, see, that's where you can't go nowhere. We don't take you nowhere. We don't take you
I can't
nowhere,
go
right?
nowhere. Don't
You
go
know what I'm
nowhere.
saying?" And I
Nothing
like,
nice to me.
see, you the person, like, if I be like, "Hey, look, brother, look, I got some gum right here," like your breath kind of running, right? I could be the nice person to do it, right? But you respond to the shit when nigga like, "Man, that nigga breath stank, cuz. You smell that shit?" Yeah, how you respond to everything is everything. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You want people around you who can pull you to the side and direct you in a better manner than it is to have people who are loud and obnoxious who will bring you down as a response. And there's different
Mm.
ways you respond to the situations, right? That's why if y'all ever pay attention to the way we talk, even we talk different when it comes to different subjects and different situations. We gotta
Mm.
know who we're gonna be connected to when we hit certain aspects in life.
Mm.
Um, man, like I said, life is nothing but a challenge, bro. If you're scared of challenges, you don't need to be outside. And if you're scared to be outside, you don't need to have children. I'm gonna be honest. Do not put them in a world that you're scared of, and you don't think they got to go outside themselves.
Shit. What was that movie where chick kept a son in a bubble? What was that old school shit?
Yeah, put a
Nigga
kid
was
in
in
a
a
bubble.
bubble. Yeah, nigga was in a
Talk about bubble
bubble.
boy.
Yeah, he gonna
Yeah,
have a
put that
bubble
man
boy.
in a bubble boy, man. Lie to that man about
Motherfucking
the world, man.
water boy, bubble boy, all that shit. It was a lot of intellect behind it and shit. But yeah, so I keep it 100 with you. Let's get back to the criticism. Criticism is necessary. It is. Sometimes you hear what you want to hear. Sometimes you hear what you don't want to hear. Me, I'm a person. I've always heard things that I don't want to hear. I've heard things that I would like to hear. You know, I've had my ego tickled. Um, Me, I'm that person. I learned to grow and feed off the things that I don't want to hear. I'm constantly trying to grow, so I need to strengthen my weaknesses. You feel me? So that's only going to happen through the process of trial and error and being criticized. A lot of people don't know how to take criticism. They don't know how to block out the background noise. You know what I'm saying? If we look at the Ali and Foreman fight, they said Foreman was going to kill Ali. There was no way in hell he could fuck with dude. Dude was too strong. He was too powerful. He was going to destroy Ali. Ali got in that ring, and he said it even after he beat him. He said, I made George Foreman look like a baby. And he gave praises to Allah. He just seemed so back at where he left off. He seemed like prime time Ali. He made the strongest obstacle look like a baby because he constantly trained. Even his people in his own circle was in fear for his life. Everybody was scared. They thought that was going to be it. But he answered the challenge. He proceeded. So sometimes you have to take those challenges. Take the, Michael Jordan said, look, I don't have a gambling problem. I have a competition problem. He just was so fucking competitive. He's like, look, you got $10. Let's go. Let's bet something. He was just so fucking competitive and confident within his ability. And even if he lost, he found a way to come back 10 times stronger because he lost. He used losses as opportunities. So that's going back to the earlier part of the conversation. But we have to address criticism appropriately. You ain't shit. Nobody can criticize you. That's just how it works. I've seen people lose friends, go against family members, fuck up business, fuck up a lot of shit because they
Fuck
couldn't
up
take
business, blood. Yeah.
right business. Feel me? Because they couldn't take constructing, and that's that other word, constructive criticism. Sometimes constructive criticism can feel like it's destruction. It can feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's destroying you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Constructive criticism, sometimes it can feel like you're literally like being ripped apart, but that's cool. That's how you come back. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you had a conversation and we was talking about, you know what I'm saying, like fighting and training and shit like that. I've been in boxing since I was 12. I know it's a certain coach that I can go around right now from 12 to 30. Everything I feel like I'm doing right, he'll be like, hey, that's wrong. 12 30. He'll tell me, hey, switch that, do this, do that. Nah, put your hand back up. Do feel me? Like if you don't listen to that coach, you're gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Or the coach gonna hit you with them pads. That shit gonna hurt. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like if you when I was teaching myself how to jump rope, I've had people, you know what I'm saying, criticize my techniques, whatever. You're in the gym swinging that rope. When that bitch hit your neck, you sweating, that shit hit your pure skin. I had webs on my shit just to learn how to jump rope. I had to learn how to hit speed bag. I had to learn how to hit the training mitts. First time I sport, I got my ass kicked. 12-year-old kid, looked older, spotted a nigga that was 16. Nigga was like, you want to fight? Cool, yeah, bet. Get me in the ring. Boom. Getting that bitch. I'm swinging at this nigga. He over here. I'm swinging over here. Nigga hit me top of the head. All the shit. Got the shit beat out of me. But that ass whooping made me train harder. That ass whooping was like, okay, bet. When I get back in that ring, I ain't gonna make the mistakes. I'm gonna grow from this. I'm gonna take this shit. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn all this other shit to make sure when I get back in this ring, dude not gonna get the best of me. So you know what I'm saying. Criticism is key. People are always gonna criticize you, even when you feel like you're at your highest level. It's still something that you still can grow from. You know what I'm saying. When we talk about Denzel still takes acting classes. People talk about that. I'm pretty sure Steph Curry still got somebody to help him with his shooting. Like you're not gonna be the GOAT at nothing if you stop training and stop feeling like you can't become greater or better than where you at. So that's what I got on criticism.
Oh man, well I spoke on criticism already, but yeah, criticism is there. But I do like the fact that you said criticism. Some people can feel like criticism is to deconstruct them, but it's really made to construct them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Remember, deconstruct is to break down, construct is to build up. You know what I'm saying? That's what people got to remember when it comes to these words. I'll probably start using that from now on. I just made something up. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably start using that from now on just because I made that up. But no, that's really a true factor, right? You know, that's why there's another thing, right? Depending on your personality type, some of y'all pay attention more when there's a crowd of people around you than it is one on one, right? If I try to effectively do things with you one on one, it's not getting done. It's because nobody else is watching you. See, when I put people around you and I check you, you're gonna want to improve because now you don't want to be embarrassed by other people around you, right? But you want to be able to get to a point where you can be criticized on both levels, to a point you be effective, right? The best leaders in life, they got corrected in front of other people all the time and accepted it right in front of their face, right? I had situations, I got tears running down my eyes for fucking up. Whether I've said something wrong or I'm not uh, hitting the pocket hole or pocket right in football, or I'm in baseball frustrated. I'm in a different position than I ever played because everybody else didn't play this position. But you know what I'm saying? These are challenges I accept for myself in order for the team to grow. So now I got to take the criticism and I'm like, motherfucker, I'm doing you a favor. I don't play this shit. I'm doing you a favor. But then again, like I said, once you accept the challenge, you got to be able to accept what comes along with it in order to better your game, to better your positions, and better whatever it is. You know, main things I always tell the people, bro, do you accept the challenge, right? Sometimes I go out with people and I always tell them, like, bro, business, women, everything's a numbers game. Here I get denied by one person and be like, oh, it's fucking over. I'm like, no, bro. X to see me in the club. I done got denied by one person. I'm on to the next one. I don't care. I'm on to the next thing. You know, and that's the
Yeah.
main thing, right? I even let one of my homeboys somewhat pick the next challenge for me, right? We in the club.
Mm.
He got denied. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, bro? This like 50 beautiful women here, man. Go get on something. I said, look, bro, I'm gonna go out there and get rejected for you right now. Period. Pick any chick in here. I'm gonna go talk to her. I said, pick any chick in here. He like any chick. He said any chick. But you know he picked the baddest chick in that motherfucking place.
Hey, your
Hey,
bros always gonna do that to you. They always gonna do that to you.
hey,
And they gonna be
look,
sitting
this is
back the
how
whole
real.
time like, oh shit. All right, bet.
This is
Okay,
how
let's
real,
get
this
it.
real the conversation is, man. Look,
Yeah.
I came down some casual shit. He picked the chick that's dressed out like damn. So, but look,
Say,
like I said, I set the challenge. I'm like, fuck
hey,
it.
but if
You
you get
pointed to
her,
him, I'm gonna go out there. You know what I'm saying? I did something small. I walked over there with a shot in my hand. I was like, look, I see you
mhm,
had clear over here. I just want to take a shot with you real quick. Boom,
mhm.
took a shot, made small talk. She just said, hey, I got a boyfriend. I said, cool, enjoy your night. Boom, walk back over. He's like, damn, was that easy? I was like, yeah. I'm like, nigga, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of fuck with me. But the whole point is, bro, it's all about
Oh shit.
accepting the challenge and just going out there and doing this shit, bro.
Accept it.
It
Even if it
builds
don't go
character, bro.
well,
It builds character,
build
bro. It builds
character.
character.
You build character through tough times. You don't build character when everything easy, everything pleasant. You build
No.
character through tough times. Michael Sheen had a famous thing. He said it to me that was famous. He said you have to do championship shit while nobody's watching.
Let's
Everybody
go.
just want to perform when the cameras is on, the lights is flashing, but you got to be that person when the cameras is off. You feel
Mm,
me? Like you have to practice for those moments. You have to prepare for those moments. When Kobe dropped this 81 piece, you know what I'm saying? All dark meat, you know what I'm saying? No white meat. He was like, look, I practiced that shit 1,000 times. I knew where I was going to shoot from. I knew this, I knew that. So when
mm,
I got on that court, it's just one more time, 10,000 times. But I
mm,
practiced that shit when nobody was watching.
mm,
And that's what you got to do. You got to be great in your darkest moments. You got to be great when the cameras is off, when the lights is off, when you're not on social media. You know what I'm saying? You got these social media parents. They big time people on the internet, but behind closed doors, their kids don't fuck with. Like you have to be this person 24/7
mm.
if you want to really perform. You know what I'm saying? And get the exposure and the credit that you want. So I'll take another twist in the conversation. We're gonna wrap it up soon. You brought up something that was key when we talk about people that look for easy tasks, easy challenges. I don't fuck with them kind of people.
No.
I don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? You like a pussy in my book. Like I don't understand that. I only fuck with people that want the best. You know what I'm saying? Like that want more, that constantly want to push themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm competitive. Don't get it twisted, but I never take an easy dub. I just don't like it.
Right.
Sometimes I want
Right.
if it's too easy, I don't want it. You feel me? Sometimes I make it more complicated for myself. I'm that person that if I know I can whoop your ass, I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna put one hand behind my back. I'm gonna whoop your ass with one hand. I've always been that person. And if I win that fight, you can't tell me nothing. I'm Floyd Mayweather in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Niggas shit on him, niggas disrespect him, but dude got his record. He like 51-0. Niggas be like, he pick his opponent, so fucking what? Whatever. He took challenges at a harder level. Then he worked his way up to where he can pick his opponents based on however you want to pick them. I got respect for him. But anyway, I don't fuck with people that always look for the easy way out. Nah. Like some people want to go to the gym and find the hardest way to get that body. And then some people look and they talk to you. They're like, give me all the cheat codes, give me all the shortcuts.
Yeah. Chico's are
What
fun though.
pill
I ain't gonna
what pill I got to take? What powder I got to drink? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I got to do to cheat my way through this shit? I don't fuck with people that want to do that. No, take the harder way. You know what I'm saying? Go through that process. It's gonna make you better. It's gonna make you appreciate your results. A lot of people don't appreciate what they have because they really didn't work for that shit. Sometimes we always talk about generational wealth, hey, keys, right?
Nigga, that's the
But
hardest round ever. Ever. Let's get
but
that understood.
yeah, but sometimes people that pass down generational wealth raise people that don't have the same grit that they have. Steve Harvey talked about it. He like, look, I'm sending my kid to go to school with these spoiled ass white kids, and he don't have for a particular test too that I got, he don't have nothing. And it's true. Sometimes we do so good, we cripple the people that come behind us because they have it so good. You know what I mean? Like sometimes parents that have more opportunities to give to their kids, they find a way to still challenge their children. They
Yeah.
still find a way to put them in situations to where they still gotta find that dog. You know what I mean? So sometimes we can just really focus. Sometimes we can mean well and perform poor at the same time. You feel me? So when it comes down to generational wealth, we have to prepare our children not just to inherit, but to always perform. Because you don't want to just you don't want to pass down the bag and then the bag continues to decrease throughout generations. You want that bag to continue to grow. So even if you can't give them your struggle, you still got to give them your knowledge and information and put them in situations to where they could tap into that energy that you tapped into to create that bag. So
Man, I
that's what I
like that.
got.
See, because the first thing that came to my mind while you talk about generational wealth, this is what I tell people, bro. I really don't live for myself, and I learned that like years ago, right?
Hustle on the
Before
last
people,
one.
before people can even access, before my kids can even access their wealth, they're gonna have to take a test, and that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
determine how much wealth you'll be able to receive throughout the remainder of your life.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Every 5 years, you'll be able to retake the test to where you can increase more of your wealth of what you receive or not. You know what I'm saying? This is where you don't fuck up as a parent by just giving them everything and then they blow it all. Like, no, 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 no. Hey, look, baby, take this test. I didn't know
It
where you
didn't
at
work for
first.
it. Mm-hmm.
Even in my will, when I die, my trust. Hey, did they take that test? All right, all right, all right, all right. Well, how much they got right? Yeah, huh? About 70%. Yeah. You get 25% access to your wealth for about the next 5 years. So you take the test and you might get some more. I'm already thinking like way fucking ahead of people. That's why I said, bro, I really don't live for myself. That's why I support, even when it comes to me dating somebody, I always pay attention to how much they talk about themselves. I don't live for myself, bro. So all that comes into a key effect of how happy your life is by if y'all are on the same factor, if you're living for more or beyond, or you're just living for what you want as of right now. Right? I want this. I want like I don't be living for that. Like right now, I told you about it. I want an S class Mercedes Benz, bro. I can go get that
I don't
bitch.
know all the black
You know
beans.
what I'm
Just
saying?
around.
I can go get that bitch. I still don't get it, bro. I'll just be like, man, not right now,
Bitch,
bro. It's gonna be some opportunities to invest where I can put that money elsewhere. Like they said, have your assets pay for your lifestyle and move forward like that. Don't buy liabilities and you don't got no assets. So if it takes me a little bit longer before I can get the vehicles I want, so fucking be it.
Hey, look. Hey, I'm a nigga from the hood. Hey, push that Benz, nigga.
Hey, push
Hey,
that
get
Benz,
that
nigga.
600 Benz.
Hey,
Hey, push
I
that.
come get
Hey,
you with a car
push that AMG, nigga. Yeah, get that bitch.
I come get you with a car right now,
Hey,
man.
look. I tell you, hey, AMG that bitch out. You feel me? Like,
Yeah. Get the top,
sometimes you gotta do that.
get the super package, man. Get the super
Yeah, get
package.
that.
Hey,
Yeah,
you can't
AMG
afford
that
it. It
bitch.
don't matter. I want you to get the super package so we can look good.
Nigga, nigga, do that. Do that.
Do that shit.
Do that shit. Hey, boy, now do that shit. Do that shit.
Get the most expensive shit. Them
So
niggas came about the base model, bro. What the fuck?
it's gonna come with gold niggas
It's
too.
gonna
Hey,
come with dog niggas, man.
when you get that AMG, you gotta take what come with it. Feel like
You know what I'm saying?
that's a full package.
When I buy a
Full
Rolls Royce,
package deal.
I better open the door and a woman in it. Like, oh shit, let
I'm
me
telling
find
you. Hey,
out.
I'm telling you. Hey, but you gotta hop out that motherfucker right though. You gotta look right when you hop out that motherfucker though. Some motherfuckers hop out that bitch and be like so
See, and that's
confident in
another
the
thing, bro.
car,
I
they don't
got
look
my
like they go
future.
in the car.
I
Uh huh.
like how you said that. See, I got my
Yeah.
future so set. I know
Uh
what
huh.
cars I would actually only let myself put dry with the
Mm-hmm.
attire I wear. In my
Mm-hmm.
in my in my luxury vehicles, baby, you gonna see me nothing in slacks, suits, and shit like that. Fast cars, you
Mm-hmm.
might see me a little bit dressed down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I already have the image. I'm like, bro, I don't want to look.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We're not entertainers. We're businessmen. What the fuck? I thought looking like a rapper coming out of these cars. No, I do
Mm-hmm.
business. I need to look like I'm still doing
Good
business when
business.
I'm outside.
Good business.
So,
Will Wayne say young nigga hop out and fly out in the whip? You know what I mean? But let's do this though. Let's get back on some serious shit. What I can applaud, I know a lot of people make excuses, right? You know what I'm saying? And then I know a lot of people that They take those excuses and they make gold.
Go.
There's a lot of people that been incarcerated.
Uh,
You have people that's been incarcerated that can come out of jail and make more money than people that don't have a record. You feel me? And then there's some niggas that just been a county. You feel me? And they use that shit as crutches throughout their entire shit. Nigga been in county. And you like, I
in
got
the
a record.
county. Didn't even go to prison. Went to county.
You feel me? Like excuses is what they say. Excuses like an asshole. Everybody got one, but excuses are powerful because I listen to people talk. If you can tell me every reason why you can't get something and why you can't make nothing happen, you are a dangerous motherfucker. Can't
Yeah,
fuck with you.
I can't fuck with you.
Feel me?
Me up.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna argue. We're gonna debate. We're gonna do a lot of things because we're not speaking the same language. Our dichotomy is not the same. Nothing is the same. So, um, one person's downfall, somebody else could come from that same area and manifest something powerful. So, be careful with your excuses. Fuck your excuses. That's how the real world works. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta figure shit out, fill out the walls, go in those dark spaces. Fear, the acronym for fear, we say uh false evidence appearing real. You feel me? You have to conquer your fears. Fuck your crutches. You know what I mean? I could take it somewhere else in the conversation. We talk about racism. Some people feel like racism stunts them from doing certain things. It stops them from producing and stops them from doing whatever. But at the same time, you have everything at your fingertips. You know what I mean? We have ancestors that did more with less. They didn't have the internet.
Whew.
They didn't
Did
have
more with less.
smartphone. You feel me? They didn't have, you know what I'm saying, the shit that we have at our disposal, but they still made more shit happen. So if we're gonna talk about racism, we have to be realistic. That's another R word after that. You have to be realistic. You feel me? There's always a way to navigate around everything. You just gotta find a way to do it. Nothing's stopping you from putting out your content, starting your business, doing whatever you do. But yeah, you can have like some blockages. That's great, but it's still a way around it. You have to navigate. So if our ancestors did more with less, we should be able to accomplish anything. We're in
Even
the same
more.
world, even more, even more. We should accomplish more with more, not less. So that's my keys on that, man. A lot of people look at racism. They look at capitalism. They look at everything that's gonna prevent them from being great and succeeding. That's cute, that's cool, but you have to look at it in the opposite direction. You know, some people want to be you in your disposition self. Some people, you know what I'm saying, when we look at culture, um, you know what I'm saying, like when I was working my first job and I was around a lot of Asians and Hispanics, it was culture shock because I'd never been around these different groups of people. But when I was around them, I noticed they dress like us, they talk like us, they move like us. A lot of these people said nigga more than we said nigga. And I'm like, damn, you want to be me? Nigga, you have no idea what it's like to be me. But they so fascinated by the culture, the music, that they want to be us. Until it's time to be us. That's a different story. But I'm just saying, even in your disposition, people still want what you have, even if you don't have shit. That's the whole like philosophy behind being inside out, outside looking in. A lot of people want to be where you at, even if you ain't got shit. So focal point is don't look at your disadvantages as disadvantages. See how you can make them advantages. Because somebody else can look at what you got and still want that shit. Um, one man's trash is another man's treasure. The great people said all this shit for a reason. The shit that you discard and you throw away, somebody else can look at it as a blessing. Um, keep all this shit in mind. This mentality is man.
Okay. Mentality. All right, man. When y'all go to the challenges and you peak, so I do some reflection. I know sometimes when I go through challenges, I be asking myself, do I need a therapist? Not necessarily like I feel like I'm crazy or anything like that. It just feel like, what if there's something blocking me from going to the next level that's mentally stopping me there? I'll just say like be aware of everything when it comes to reaching your peak, right? I always say like, hey, therapy can be one of them. I learned that some of the greatest people went to therapy before they came back out and fucked the world up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you had people who did where they went on a retreat, right? They got some things that were going on with them internally, came back from the retreat, went out there and did the world. You have people who went from to a certain training aspect, and then they went back to the roots of their training aspect. They went back out there, start conquering the world. It's things you never know that's going on that might require you to take a step back before you can move forward. And that's what they say about reaching your peak. Sometimes you have halts, pushes and pulls before you can move forward that you have to conquer first. So that's all I got on the subject, man.
All right. On my closeout, man, I keep it 100. Even with the podcast, man, we went through a lot of shit with equipment, and we never gave up. You know what I'm saying? If the camera was fucked up, if the lens was fucked up, we upgraded the lens. If the audio was fucked up, we went to the camera. If the microphone was fucked up, we went to IG. Like, we just keep going. And when I see people that tap into the podcast and they be like, look, it's something you said that made a difference in my life. It's something bro said made a difference in my life. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, I love that shit. Because there's plenty of times where we could have, if we was some regular mere mortals, we would have been said, hey, fuck this shit. It's too complicated. It's too this. You know what I'm saying? When we do these lives, sometimes we get a few people, sometimes we get a lot. We talk about some real shit, we can get a few people. We talk about fucking, it's like 200 people in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You gotta keep it 100. You feel me? So even doing this personal experiences, man, like just keep doing your thing. If you feel like this is your purpose and this is what you're here for, this is what it is, like keep doing you. Don't look at the analytics all the time. Don't get discouraged by that. Just keep going. Like I say, we switched up our approach a lot of times. Feel me? We wasn't always doing IG live like this, but we still here. We still keep pushing. We still keep growing. And it's people that watch it. And, you know what I'm saying? The feedback is what's up. So I appreciate y'all for appreciating us, you know what I'm saying? Appreciating what we do. We keep pushing, we keep growing. Yeah, appreciate you too.
Yeah. Thank you for anybody for the coming on the podcast. But yeah, so next episode be Wednesday. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Why do you need guarantees? Fuck that. We gonna get down to that. And when I do my motto,
Yeah.
you know it's a
Hey,
motto.
down and there.
You know
Hey,
it's a
much
motto.
love to you too.
You know it's a motto.
Anything we'll leave it open for like at least a minute. Y'all could put your shit in the Q&A. It's request to go live. Then we'll wrap it up. We appreciate your time.
Q&A. Request to go live.
Any questions on the topic?
Next
Yeah,
60 to 90 seconds. Anybody want to come in? We got a Q&A, request to go live, talk over the subject, how the subject might have connected with you, etc. Whatever it is.
give your testimonials.
Come to the altar.
Come to the altar. Put it all on the altar.
Come to the altar. Come to the altar.
Come get anointed. but yeah, Joe. So how you feel about the episode, man? How you feel about the topic, man? You know?
I feel about every other topic. Take over the world.
Take over the world, man.
Hey, Pinky,
Top flight.
what are we going to do tomorrow? Same thing we try to do every day. Take over the world.
hey, so when we gonna do the next one? Wednesday?
Wednesday. Why do you need a guarantee? I did. I know I'm about to go in on this motherfucker's episode Wednesday.
Go ahead.
Need a guarantee. All right, y'all. That's 60
we
seconds.
close,
Be out, man.
All right, bet. So we're gonna have this episode on YouTube tomorrow. We're gonna post the links, everything. Tap into the episode on YouTube, share it. Feel me? Appreciate you. All right, so we out Talking That Talk official podcast. IG, Facebook, YouTube, tap in, support the movement, support the real. We appreciate y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace.